This is Nitro, and this is The Disconnect. But this is a special edition of The Disconnect. The Making the Men edition with Steve Davis. Y'all get ready for some interesting conversation. Think about it, 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 think about it.
So D, look, I am really I wanted to come over here and holler at you. You know, we've been in quarantine, and it's given me a lot of time to us to think about some of those conversations you and I had a couple weeks ago. You know,
yeah, I was mad as hell at y'all.
And how long did we not talk?
In November, probably October. So we talking 4 months.
4 or 5 months.
4 or 5 months, right?
And it was straight ego. I know I was ego tripping. I was, you know, I think I told you before. I said, man, you need to watch how you text me, because when I read your text, I hear your mouth, I hear your voice like it's screaming at me. Right. You remember I told you that?
And text can be interpreted any kind of way. People put exclamation points on what they read. They might not even be there.
Right. And you tend to be, brother, and people know you. Right. You a strong type A personality, and so am I. Right. So it's kind of like two bulls in the China room with me and you. Sometimes when we get together. Right. But let me tell you something. I think what allows us to be friends and really be close friends is that even though we strong type A personalities, we humble enough to submit ourselves to each other when we mess up. Gotcha. So a couple weeks ago, right, when I came over here, you didn't expect me. I just showed up on a Sunday. Knocked on the door. I didn't know how you was gonna take it.
Nigga, I didn't know how to take it when you came. I didn't know how to take it.
Right.
But I didn't want to be the hypocrite with the integrity that we talk about all the time that I felt you might have been being. But then you said the same thing. I didn't want to be the hypocrite.
That's right. I was getting ready to say that.
When we talk about this stuff all the time and then turn around and do it to each other.
That's what brought me over here was I felt like a hypocrite.
Right. And I started slamming the door in your face.
I saw it. I saw it in your eyes.
Yeah.
No, I saw it in your eyes, for real. I saw it in your eyes, and I thought to myself, I mean, you know, that ego part of me when I saw your eyes, I was like, man, if this shut this door in my, I mean, for real. I mean, that's what I
started to get the pistol.
But then you turned around, left the door open, and you was like, come on in.
Right. Let's see where it's going. And I don't think we open to each other. And this is men, women, just our whole community. We can't think with our emotions. We got to use our emotions to think. You know what I'm saying? And I think people hold grudges over the smallest thing. She didn't like my nail color. She said that my business plan wasn't going to work the way it was. Well, maybe you need to go look at it or whatever. If that's your friend talking to you about something, or you know, whatever it is. So I think we need to. I mean, we all know this. We got to be more open and not jump the gun and reach for peace and not war.
And that's real talk, because when I look at our community, when I look at the black community, and you know, I believe that men should take their rightful place, but in order for a man to take his rightful place, he needs to be honest and transparent with himself. So when as we say in the streets, when he's being a punk, right? When he pulling on them punk moves where somebody piss him off, and instead of going to his boy and having that conversation,
right?
What did I do? We didn't talk for 3 months, 4 months, right? And so I had been thinking about that, and I said, man, I mean, I'm doing the exact opposite of everything I taught my son. Everything I teach all over this country with men and leaders. Here I am with my partner. We've been partners since riding to school at Millwood in that raggedy Audi you had. You remember that?
You remember
that Audi, dog?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been that long. We've been together that long, man.
But it's important to, I mean, you know, I use the term, and it does get, it ain't about violence, but it's like we can talk it out or walk it out. Mm-hmm. So if we got to go out there, handle it, come back in, hug each other with the black eye, we were still trying to resolve. We were still reaching, hopefully we was reaching for the peace, even if we have to tangle a little bit.
And let me be honest.
Right.
Let me be honest, because I don't want nobody watching this to think, you know, like this has always been easy. That was hard coming over here knocking on that door, first of all.
Right, I got you.
Do you understand that?
Right. And you had to humble to yourself
I
first before you had to even come talk to me.
Man, that was the hardest part.
Okay.
Was I had to first look myself in the mirror and be like, dude, you wrong. I mean, I couldn't even, as much as I wanted to put that on you, right? Because you stepped on my toes, right? I couldn't. I had to accept responsibility. Now that comes with maturity, right? Because there was a time I would have never accepted responsibility. There was a time when I'd have stayed mad. There was a time I'd have said, F him.
Right, gotcha.
Period. We ain't talking about nothing. I'm Steve Davis.
I can see that.
Right?
I can see that.
But now it's time for me and for us as men, as a community, to be able to disagree, even hurt each other's feelings.
Now let me say something. Sometimes it's not how they doing you, it's how you view them.
Absolutely.
Doing you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
Do you need to ask them to change, or do you need to change your view sometimes? Because most people go, well, this is me, this is just how I am. Okay, well, how you am might be hindering you from moving forward and forgiving, or even seeing what's real different from what you feel.
And me and you've had that very conversation when we meet people and you hear cats say, I've been like this my whole life. Don't tell nobody that.
Right.
Because that means you haven't grown.
Right, you haven't grown.
I'm not supposed to tell, that's the last thing I'm going to say to anybody is, oh, you just got to accept me because I've been like this my whole life. Right. Well, maybe you've been messed up your whole life.
Right.
Hey, that was where I had to go in growth, right?
Right. And then when they say, "Hey man, you changed," you didn't.
Absolutely,
didn't you?
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely.
We ain't 20.
And you know what? And let me tell you something. What's crazy is, and this is where many brothers get messed up, is when I never had that father in my life, right? Yeah. So I didn't know how to be mad. I never learned how to be mad at another man, right? And deal with it. Because the way the street showed me was, we knuckling up.
It is what it is. Right.
It is what it is. We supposed to knuckle up.
Right. I'm offended. There's an infraction.
That's right.
And I got to handle that this way.
This way.
Right. Or cower and go away and not deal with it.
So listen. So many times when we're dealing with our women and our families, that's why many men leave, because they cowered away. Say, now when we go to the street, we supposed to knuckle up, right? Yeah. But when it comes to dealing with that relationship, are we quick to step back and say, oh man, I can't.
But you know what
I can't deal with this.
Because that savage that we was taught, we can't impose that into that female relationship. That's right. So now we're frustrated and we don't know how to articulate ourselves with that emotion.
That's right.
But we can go it's easy to be savage and go beat on another human being.
Easy.
Right?
Easy.
But like you said, with not having the father figure to teach you how to address those situations. Non-violent, non-savage.
You know how many
because
brothers...
you're trying to resolve. Right?
You know how many brothers locked up in the penitentiary right now?
Just for that.
Just for that.
Just for that.
And look, D, that's what makes this making of men work that you've watched me do and you've been working with me on all these years. Right. That's what makes this so powerful. Right. Is that we're teaching young brothers, and we even men with our Making of Men breakfast, we're saying, hey Doc, it's okay to be vulnerable.
It's okay to be vulnerable. And like you say, and release the shame. But going back to what you said, in order to be a man, you got to see a man.
Woo.
Right? So, but what man are we seeing? What men are we seeing? So that's why the making of men is so important, right? Because there is a cycle. Because how these boys treat these girls,
that's right,
make these girls treat these boys,
that's right,
or accept what these boys, not these men, are doing, and now it just become, we going, what the hell is wrong? Why she dressing like that, and why he acting like that? It's the cycle, and we trying to break it and trying to breathe life into a society that's choking their dream. You know?
And you know what? And let's do something that I call unpack the pain, right?
Okay. All right.
So right now, so part of the issues that many of us as men struggle with is unpacking the pain from my childhood. So if I can be, so let me be transparent and vulnerable right now, right? So my father's an alcoholic. He beat my mother, right? I can still remember at 3-4 years old watching him beat my mother. And my mother said, "You remember that?" I literally described for her the incident. She said, "You was just 3." I said, "Mama, I remember."
Ooh. Now let me ask you this. And I don't know that it didn't, but how did it keep you from becoming, or what stopped you from becoming your father?
Whoa! So, let me tell you something. I am the man I am today because I decided when I was a boy I wouldn't be my father.
Okay.
Do you hear me? Yeah. So my driving force was the fact that my father was an alcoholic, was abusive. And so I was able to see what I did not want to be.
Now, you know what's crazy about that? This goes back to, in order to be a man, you got to see a man, which carves and molds your decisions, right? Adjust your behavior, right? I never seen my daddy beat my mama. Mm-hmm. So even when women acted up and the homies was like, "Man, won't you want to kick her down the stairs and choke slam this?" I wasn't conditioned that way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My daddy was a man, and when it came to women, they was just scared that he might leave them, not beat them. So I learned a different way. Mm-hmm. But look at how you was molded and how I was molded. We both seen a man, but that's how we learned how to be a man.
Well, and let me tell you what I see that as, and I tell people this all the time. You have to climb over the pain to get to your purpose.
Go through it.
See, most people, they run from pain.
When it gets uncomfortable.
They uncomfortable, they ready to bust. But see, here's what I believe: it's pain, process, power, purpose. So you can't get to purpose without the pain. Okay. And most of us, we run from pain. We think, "Oh no," but real talk, and you work out. Right. How does one's body get physically bigger? When you lift weights, you rip the muscles. Right. And those muscles, when they repair, become what? Stronger.
Like we say in the street, puts pressure on yourself.
Puts pressure.
So you can have something to push and push through. Ooh. Now, we're going to stop y'all right there. I know we're getting a little heavy, but it was a conversation that needed to be had. It was a personal conversation. So instead of us having it on the phone like we do, we decided to have it in front of y'all. So Steve Davis, Making the Men, Nitro, and this is The Disconnect. And we just asked y'all to think about it.